Hello everybody, a very warm welcome to Inspire Middle East. I'm Rebecca McLaughlin-Easton, and this week we're doing our homework on productivity whilst working from home. We'll hear from those in the UAE who are thriving outside of the office and those merely surviving their remote routine. Later in the show, we'll get one entrepreneur's top tips for maximising your potential, which could apply to lockdown to ensure that you're not caught napping on the job.
The people who brag about getting 5 hours of sleep a day, like Donald Trump, they're probably not performing at their best.
But first, Salim Saeed takes a closer look at how small and medium-sized enterprises are coping with their offices being closed.
Home work is not just for students anymore. In March, a decision was made by the UAE authorities restricting about 70% of the private workforce to their homes. This included 26-year-old engineer Abdulrahman in Abu Dhabi. He designs and manages off-grid solar power systems which provide electricity for oil operations in the region.
Working from home made me feel more comfortable. It reduced my travel costs to work. I don't have to order food from outside. And at the same time, it has increased my productivity level.
Others haven't been as fortunate, especially some small and mid-sized enterprises in the UAE and abroad, which have been hit the hardest by the current situation, according to McKinsey. As a result, some SMEs have had to reduce their workforce, cut salaries, and even close down. Extending a helping hand, the UAE announced a $70 billion stimulus fund to support businesses and individuals. Adapting to changing times is Dubai-based marketing firm Haitani & Co., which reduced its work hours, says its founder Maya. 2020 was off to a great start, but as of March, business came to a sudden halt.
The clients that we do have put a lot of our work on hold as they were trying to preserve cash to honor existing obligations, pay staff, and really just figure out what's happening. The uncertainty that everyone is facing makes us kind of all be suspended in midair.
Before the lockdown, Maya had adopted a hybrid system of people working from the office until 2 p.m. and operating from home once a week. With the help of digital tools, this maximized productivity for her staff of 4 working mothers.
We rely on technology to keep us connected, and we always have, even before the pandemic. So we use online project management tools for everything we're doing in order to manage all of our client work.
Connecting with technology is the future of remote working, according to some experts. Rada is an HR consultant and researcher in Jordan. Her latest survey about working from home amid the COVID-19 pandemic found one of the biggest challenges for those in the region was feeling disconnected.
Big percentage of people who receive daily connection with their managers, they are under pressure and they are not really productive. That's because the calls themselves or the nature of connection was not really human-based. It's more of task and delivery.
According to the World Economic Forum, in 2018, about 30% of man-hours across industries were performed by machines or algorithms. By 2022, that's expected to double.
I am an artificial human. I'm still learning about how humans talk, behave, and move.
As AI and automation advance to take on more of what we do, some say there's a critical input missing.
With COVID-19, we discovered the need for more human touch in all of what we are offering. It's not pure technology without that human interface, without human understanding. This is what customers are asking for. At the same time, this is what employees are craving for to keep their engagement levels and to keep their productivity levels as high as possible.
Meaning that if we could get with the program and be more empathetic while using technology, it can help prepare tomorrow's workforce today.
During this unique time, many people have decided to embrace entrepreneurship, to launch their own business and to test the market with their big idea. But what is it that separates those who'll succeed from those who won't? Well, before the COVID-19 crisis struck, I met a man who claims to know. A Gallup poll of recent years suggests that only around 15% of the world's full-time workers are truly engaged, with millennials ranking amongst the most dissatisfied due to factors such as old management practices. Global self-isolation and work lockdowns of late have prompted many to assess their personal and professional happiness, with some looking not only to entrepreneurship, but also towards self-development and self-improvement. Vishen Lakiani, the co-founder of the learning platform Mind Valley, says he can relate and he can help with his master plan to upgrade humanity. A former computer engineer faced with extreme stress and burnout, he quit his job and launched his online educational training platform, which he hopes will attract 1 billion users via connected platforms by 2038. To hear more about his bold theories on everything from power naps to personal growth and going it alone in business, Inspire spoke to Vishen in Sharjah. Vishen, thank you for speaking to me on Inspire Middle East.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here.
You say that for many, to be their own boss, to be an entrepreneur, is a dream.
Right.
But there are plenty of entrepreneurs that are multimillionaires and they're miserable. And you were one of them. So tell me why and what was the journey?
Well, so many people confuse a means goal with an end goal, right? So we set a goal to be a millionaire. We set a goal to be an entrepreneur. But these goals in actuality have very little correlation with happiness. So you hit that target, you become the entrepreneur, only to then understand that you're burnt out, you're stressed out, you are under pressure from investors, you are trying to make ends meet, you are not able to meet payroll. Now the reason is because people confuse two different things. They confuse the means with the end.
On the rules, the norms, the constraints of society, as you put it, you say abandon the rules, ignore the rules, but don't ignore your gifts. It's somehow easier said than done for many budding entrepreneurs, I would imagine.
It's easier. It's easier to follow your heart. When Steve Jobs gave his famous 2005 Stanford commencement address, he said, listen to your heart and intuition. They somehow already know who you are to become. The best entrepreneurs do not follow the status quo. I believe real entrepreneurs do things to push humanity forward. Real entrepreneurs are listening to an inner calling, an inner yearning to get something out to the world that is a manifestation of who they are, what they believe, how they want a better society. And when you follow that, you're more likely to create a product or a service that is infused with that unique imprint that makes you you. It becomes more fun, you're more likely to stand out, you're more likely to be successful.
Speaking of daily success and lessons that people can use in their day-to-day lives, talk to me about eating the frog first. I suppose practitioners like Stephen Covey would call it prioritizing daily duties. It's a tool for being highly efficient in everyday life. It's doing the most difficult thing first and not procrastinating and therefore lessening productivity.
I think it's a minor point. I don't really care either way. I don't care if you do the most difficult thing in the morning or the evening. What I do care about is this. The one thing that I think every entrepreneur, anyone who wants to make a mark in the world has to be doing is starting their morning with personal growth. Start your morning with healthy eating, exercise, meditation, journaling, whatever matters, and spend an hour on that.
When it comes to maximizing productivity in the workplace, what's your position on nap rooms?
Naps are wonderful. Naps are absolutely wonderful. NASA did a study, and they found that a very effective nap, 20 to 23 minutes roughly, can boost your productivity by 30%. And this is one of the great myths of the world today, that we need to sacrifice sleep so we can do a good job. If you get 90 minutes less than your required amount of sleep, you're operating the next day with a 1/3 drop in cognitive functioning, which means that you're thinking slower, your idea generation is slower, you can't get as much done. It's 1/3 your brain shut down. The people who brag about getting 5 hours of sleep a day, like Donald Trump, they're probably not performing at their best.
Should companies, in your opinion, big and small, be focusing a little more on presenteeism? People being at work but not quite functioning at their highest capacity, or absenteeism, because both cost companies billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars each year. So what's the priority to address?
So again, to me, it's a kindergarten concept. What I think really matters is engagement. Are your people engaged in the job? I don't care if my people are working from the office or working in a different location. We don't bother to log working hours and so on. We trust people. The thing is, I believe if you treat people good, if you create the right type of company culture focused on engagement, that metric alone is the main thing you want to do. That metric alone is the main thing you want to look at.
The self-improvement market is pegged by some analysts to be heading towards in excess of $13 billion by 2022. It's an aggregate growth of nearly 5 to 6% from 2016. My question is, what do you believe might be the next frontier, the next big breakthrough? What's not been said yet, not taught yet, not written about?
One of the next big breakthroughs that we're going to see in the personal growth industry is the science of accessing altered states to improve human functioning. We will start seeing intuition training in the workplace, people intuitively being able to make better decisions, intuitively salespeople being able to know who are the best clients to call, intuitively people being able to connect in greater empathy and compassion. And the second one is so bizarre, I don't even dare say it in front of a camera because you guys will think I'm crazy. But 10 years from now, this will be one of the most in-demand skills in the workplace.
We're intrigued. Can you give us a clue?
It has to do with tapping into certain brain frequencies, more along the delta level of brain waves, where you're able to shift the nature of reality itself to make work and life easier.
Thank you very much for speaking to me today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, that is all that we have time for in this edition of the show. Thank you for watching, and do catch all of our programs online at euronews.com. Before I leave you, here are some inspiring Instagram posts that we liked this week. But for now, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Maria from Lebanon shared this snap with her Instagram followers, highlighting the challenges of working at home with a toddler. And Izzat from Yemen shared this post of him enjoying his first day in his home office.